So the year is 2012. Square Enix published Sleeping Dogs made by United Front Games. Sleeping Dogs was amazing. Even back when it came out in 2012, and it was so damn good that it actually got ported to the PS4 for a definitive edition. This game had it all, from the story to the combat to the side quests and many more fun things that this game added, and why I feel like this game is old and a serious apology. An undercover cop that's Chinese American named Wei Shin goes to infiltrate the gang known as the Sun On Yee, a really big triad gang in Hong Kong. He seeks out to infiltrate and takes them down, but as the story progresses, he starts to see and is exposed to the gang life and violence that's within these wars. I'm going to touch up on the story a little later, probably towards the end of the video, but what I really want to talk about is some of the best features in this game, which is arguably, well, not even arguably, this is just a fact, it's the combat. Now, with open world games, there's not too many of them that do a pretty good job with combat, so I'll probably just use the biggest one. You guys know what game I'm talking about, Grand Theft Auto 5. Now in GTA 5, you got, it's pretty basic. Sure, you get like 2 punches, an uppercut, and a kick. But in Sleeping Dogs, man, my nigga, you can throw a roundhouse kick, you can counter, dodge in the middle of a fight. You can throw did I mention you can throw a roundhouse kick? There's like you can unlock like certain combos. Like if you find statues within the game, you can learn more combos. Some of the combos can even vary to breaking someone's leg, clapping someone with a dragon kick, breaking someone's arm, hitting them with a rock bottom. There's a decent amount of different enemies you can fight. There's guys that are just normal people that you can just slap around. You got guys that basically, if you fight with them, you have no choice but to grab them. You got big dudes that can't be grabbed, but you can strike them. They can put you in a full Nelson, and now you gotta fight your way out of that. There's a decent amount of variable enemies, so you kind of like have to change up your playstyle a little to win. If that wasn't enough, they've added a mechanic where you can grab and interact with the environment around you. So if you're by, like, I guess a fish tank, you can throw them through a fish tank. You'll probably see in this video that I like hang someone a hook. You hang people on like swordfish. You can throw people in the water with electric eels, slam people through garden rails. Yeah, they went all out for like the fighting and interaction with the environments in this game. Alright, now let's move to the shooting. The shooting in this game isn't really the best, but it's not the worst. It's kind of in the middle. One cool feature I do like about the shooting in the game is if you're standing behind cover, you can literally jump over the cover and it'll slow down time. So you can basically pop 3 or 4 people like it's John Woo out of a movie. And another thing, if you're like doing shootouts and you're in a car, if you hit the tires, cars will flip. You shoot the driver, the car slow down. You can shoot the engine like in most games and the car blow up. But I just love the fact that if you shoot like the tire of a car, the car will flip and go flying down the road. The game kind of balanced out shooting. It could have been a little bit better, but I just like the way that it is now. But other than the combos and the fighting and the combat in this game even has a huge amount of things you can do in the open world of Hong Kong. Being someone that lives in the States, I would have no idea what Hong Kong looks like, but Sleeping Dogs made me thought I did. The map is super dense and is broken into 4 sections: North Point, Aberdeen, Central, and Kennedy Town. As soon as you get done with, I guess, like the beginning part of the game and you can free roam, the entire map is already accessible. Like, you don't have to wait, and enemies aren't at a crazy difficult level where the game is kind of forcing you to stay in one spot until you progress further in the story. Oh boy, I mean, you have a very well amount of side quests you can do that ranges from cop missions where that can go from simple little brawls to a full-on investigation. You can even do street races that have even certain classes to it, so you're not too underpowered or you're not too OP for the race. And hell, if cop and street missions aren't your thing, you can go to illegally bet on chicken fights. Yes, you could go and bet on chicken fights. Yeah, when you're casually free roaming the map, you can do certain missions that are called face missions. Well, face missions are pretty simple. You just run a guy down, or you do a little errand for someone, and it increases your face. The higher your face, the more things you get access to, and it kind of helps your character perks up too. And if this is not like convince you enough, you can go to clubs and fucking sing karaoke. I'm not gonna lie, my man's way do be sliding. Another good thing you can do is you can actually go to like fight clubs where you can pitch in, fight. These fights can go from 1v3s, the 4s, the 5s, the 6, and if you win, you get like a huge amount of XP. It's not too challenging as long as you know how to counter, but it's really fun to do. And hell, if beating people's asses wasn't enough at the martial arts, like fight brawls, you can go to the dojo if you have a statue, like I said earlier, and beat some ass there too. Sleeping Dogs' story. Oh man. Sleeping Dogs' story literally sought out to what it said in the beginning. It's a story about gangs, the triad. So the story was gonna be very gritty and grimy, and that's what it was. Like I said earlier, Wei Shin was brought from America to come back to Hong Kong to take down the Sun On Yee, one of the triad organizations. He was going to take them out, but it seemed more like he was willing to help them than take them down, because he built so much camaraderie with the gang, from his longtime friend Jackie to one of the Red Poles that was Winston and his girl, and to Uncle Po, to helping Sonny so him and his girl wouldn't have been killed by Big Smile Lee, to Wade getting revenge for Winston and his almost wife, which that mission was pretty crazy. A massive shootout during a wedding. Wade takes revenge by having Dog Eyes be killed for that, and probably the thing that happened to his sister. But being a cop, Pendrew said do what's necessary to take them down. Killing Dog Eyes wasn't really a part of that. Even in certain cutscenes, Wade would even deny even knowing what happened to Dog Eyes.
Hey, you hear anything about Dog Eyes? He seems to have disappeared.
Haven't heard a thing.
I mean, even called him out himself when he said what scares me, Wade, is you're becoming one of them.
Anyway, you're one of them.
The story progresses, Wade starts to do more and more things that are questionable as a cop, but more reasonable as a gang member. He already had connections with them. Even like Pendrew and Raymond would say that he's attached to the gang. He would always deny it. I don't know if that's supposed to be correlating to the actual player or Wade himself, but that's something I really liked about the story. Another thing that I like is there weren't too many crazy deaths, but when the deaths happened, they made you feel like really emotional about it. Like when Winston got killed along with his wife at that wedding, it was really sad because it was out of nowhere. I did not expect that to happen at all. Even when Jackie was killed, like Jackie, I thought Jackie was gonna make it because he kind of dodged death the first time after being buried alive by Big Smile Lee, just for him to be almost like hanged up and skinned, like with his stomach hanging out. That death was pretty gruesome. Jackie was already saying that he wanted to walk away from it all, but as a gang member, you don't get to walk away. You're either gonna die or go to jail. The ending wasn't too bad at all. You got to kill Big Smile Lee, but you also even find out that, remember Uncle Po, like the leader of the Sun On Yee? Yeah, he was actually killed by Pendrew, which is murder. So Wade ended up getting revenge. And I don't care what you said, this is revenge. He got revenge and had Pendrew locked up for life with the same gang members that he had put away. All in all, I hope this actually showed y'all why I felt like Sleeping Dogs is owed an apology. The game did a crazy amount for what it did for a game that came out in 2012. Hopefully I changed y'all mind, and that's about it. I don't really have much to say anymore. See y'all next week, I guess.